see. Niki's just gonna be one sec.
All right. What microphone do you have connected?
The snowball.
Okay, we're good then.
See.
All right, I can hear you, and we're good. So,
Dude, this movie was not what I was expecting at all. I liked it. It was cute, but not what I was expecting.
okay, all right.
I'll save deeper thoughts during the actual review, but yeah, not what I was expecting
Now, what you were expecting?
at all.
What did you expect? Like a 2-hour long backstory of the Cupid's Shuffle, like as the title suggested, or what exactly?
I was expecting a more traditional love story. Like I was way off base.
Well,
Oh, she was 32? No, I thought she was like
32.
34.
I don't think that's too much of a difference.
Well, no, okay, it makes the difference between her having the kid, having Lola when she was 18 versus like 16 or 14.
Can I tell you something really funny?
What?
So I'm not gonna burn anyone because yeah, doesn't matter. So I was at work and I was talking with one of my bosses, one because I have several, and I was in his office and he was telling me something, and while I was telling him, he was on his phone and he was telling me like, hey, like just so you know, I am listening. It's just I'm tracking like the Uber where my daughter is. Like I'm just yeah. And then he mentions like yeah, I'm kind of worried because she's barely starting high school, she's 15, and I went, oh well, no, normal thing to go through. And then he goes like and then we're talking about something else, and then he randomly just goes, yeah, because I'm 35. And I went, you're 35, she's 15, like what age did you have her?
Oh God.
Yeah, but
That's fucking terrifying.
I didn't want to make that comment. I mean, he's doing good, he's the boss, so but like,
I mean, yeah, cut that part.
how you doing, Niki?
Hi, Chema. How are you?
Hello, I'm doing good.
Good.
Sorry that we had to delay it, but there was construction going on and you could hear like the drilling and the hammering, and it was just awful.
Mate, you're good. Don't worry about it.
We had the same thing this morning, so it worked.
We're good.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
All
All right, you ready?
Yeah, if you want to introduce us.
Thank you for welcoming us into your headphones. My name is Chema.
I'm Eddie.
And I'm Niki.
Reviewing Cha-Cha Real Smooth, and this is the rollback. So, fresh out of college and stuck at the New Jersey home without a clear path forward, a 22-year-old Andrew begins working as a party starter for a bar bat mitzvahs, where he strikes up a unique friendship with a young mom and her teenage daughter. So this is a movie came out earlier this year in Apple TV. It's written, directed, produced, and starring Cooper Raiff, who is 25, and I hate him. And he made this movie.
He directed this also?
He directed this also.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Yeah, I hate him. He's so stupidly talented. So this
okay.
is yeah, that's why. Yeah, it's absolute jealousy. So this is the movie. Stars him, Dakota Johnson, Leslie Mann, Brad Garrett, and other colorful characters. So I saw this movie when it came out a couple months ago, and I was telling Eddie about it, and I brought it up, and I was like, hey, we should review this because it came out this year, and it's actually pretty good, and I think could make for a good episode. So I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think of Cha-Cha Real Smooth?
You want to go first?
Go ahead.
Not what I was expecting at all. I was expecting like a coming of age love story, like something along that lines. I was expecting more along the lines of like not The Graduate, but something in line with that, as far as like a young guy just finishes college, trying to figure out his life. I got that, but also I didn't get a story that I didn't expect to like.
Also, you did like it.
Oh, I did like. Oh yeah, no, I like this movie. It just didn't go in the way that I was expecting.
Okay,
That's not a bad thing. No, I don't always know what's right.
Yeah, same.
Same.
What?
But no, yeah, it just like Andrew, for example, I was completely expecting him to end up with Domino. I was expecting Andrew and Domino to get together in the end. She was gonna break her engagement because he's great with Lola and whatnot. And I know we're jumping a bit into the story, but yeah, I was not expecting any of that at all. At all. Also, Joseph, I thought I was gonna hate him. Nah, it turns out I liked him by the end.
He's just a guy. Like he's just going through his life.
He's
Like
just a dude.
he's just a dude, and it's not his fault that they're together. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I had a similar reaction to the movie. I didn't know what to expect. I had seen Cooper's previous movie. It's called Shit House. It's on HBO Max, and it is freaking wonderful. And it's like a little coming of age story about this kid on his freshman year of college, and this kind of feels like a spiritual sequel to it because it's after college. I knew I was gonna like this movie the second that it starts, and the first line of dialogue is, "I can't fucking believe college is over," because that's a mood. Like we've all felt like, wait, what happens now? Like, what do I do? And he goes, yeah, I'm gonna find a job immediately working at like a meat
stick
sticks place. Like you know that feeling. You know that feeling of like, yeah, it's gonna go well after college, and then like it's kind of starting over with very little help. And yeah, I felt that. It was a big mood. And because of that, I really like it. The story and his relationship with Domino, relationship with the daughter, his own brother, hell, even the relationship with the mom, everything about this feels like a conversation you'll hear in passing. Like it feels real, and I ended up really liking it because of that.
So, what do you think about it?
Yeah.
Well, I agree because I think it's everybody in the movie was on different stages of life. So it's kind of like you were reliving some of what like little David was going through with his first kiss, and then what Andrew was working at the corn dogs, and then trying to get a real job, but at the same time, like, do I have to be somewhere where I'm miserable or find something that makes me happy? And it's like, at the same time, you have responsibilities, and that's where Greg came in, the stepdad.
Yeah.
And he was like, you got to get to work. Like, he was the realist of the group. Yeah. And he was like, if anybody had his shit together, it was him.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So I felt for Andrew throughout. And also it was a little scary because it felt like what we've been going through.
Yeah.
Like just trying to figure out life. And I think that's what the 20s are for. It's just like figuring things out. So interesting. Very good movie though.
Yeah. He got his ass kicked more than once. I'm not talking physically, I'm talking life. Like his girlfriend from Maya, his girlfriend. Left to Barcelona, and it's never confirmed that like she has a relationship, but he's like feeling lost and he just wants to follow her. But...
Wait a second, I think it was pretty confirmed though.
Yeah,
was it?
She was like hugging the guy on Instagram.
Oh, see, I didn't see that part. Okay, well, I don't remember that part. Okay, yeah, so she was having a relationship with someone new, and Andrew's just like heartbroken and looking for love and stuff.
But him too, I don't think he knew how to deal with love or like relationships.
He has a young man's view of love.
Right.
Yeah. A very young person's view of love.
As most early 20 somethings do. So yeah. And I think it's portrayed really well in this. Like you can see that he wants to, we mentioned him going through different jobs or what would he do to make him happy. And then he gets that offer to like, he accompanies his little brother to this bar mitzvah, and he has a great time, and he ends up like hyping all the kids, and they end up really liking him, and the moms end up really liking him. So he gets invited to keep doing it and starts kind of developing this kind of business to make it work. An underappreciated, I think, position, because like we go to parties and we go to events and we just assume this hype person is there, and it's like, oh yeah, people do this for a living.
Dude, some DJs really suck. I'm gonna say it right now, man. I blame the DJs. If the party ain't banging, I blame the dude blasting the music.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I was jealous
of his party
of Andrew because he got this cool job starting up parties. I was like, okay, and it was like $300 a party. I was like, where's this kind of job?
Yeah. Well, the thing is also at first he's really happy about it, and then Greg's like, you can really develop a business like in that. Like, how much does a party starter make, Andrew? And he's like, I don't know, more than an unhappy pharmaceutical exec. Like, god damn it. Like, stop with the
they were so mean to Brad Garrett. They were so mean throughout the entire movie.
The thing is though, is like he has it where it counts, and he's not an asshole. He's just like, look, I'm trying to guide you on this way of life, man. I'm trying to
But it's true, but I get Andrew too, Because it's like Andrew's like, I got this. I can figure it out on my own. And it's kind of like,
get off my ass, Greg.
Right. Yeah. And it's like you have to learn how to ask for help too.
Yeah.
It's like part of growing up. And it's a little
you get your ass kicked.
You get your ass kicked. And you learn.
It feels real. And I think the thing that to me felt the most real was Andrew's relationship with his mom. Like Leslie Mann, like she's so funny, but she can be so good at like doing these drama characters where like she feels too real as this character. I don't want to jump too ahead, but like the scene near the end, like after he gets like the job and he starts to walk to work and back and forth, and there's that great song that's playing, and then he gets back home and he just goes to his mom and is like, hey, like I think I'm ready to move out. Like I made enough money. But I'm not gonna go very far. And like I've been walking every day to work, and every time I go back and forth, I see our old house, and I want to tell you that I had a good childhood and that I liked it and that made me happy and that you're a good mom. Like when he has that whole speech, like I felt so much like empathy, and I was so happy inside while just watching that scene, because like I picture like my own mother in that moment. I don't know why. Leslie Mann just reminds me of my mom. I don't know why. Like they just have a similar air to them, and like a similar face. And I just watched that scene, and I just rewatched it right now because I wanted to remember it correctly. And it's like, Jesus, like that hit me. Like that hit me really hard. Because you rarely see that kind of like positivity or like warmth between like family members in movies, because we're not interested in that. We want to see drama.
Yeah, we want to see the sons and the fathers killing each other and whatnot.
Yeah, of course.
This was a nice moment where he's like, mom, I had a good childhood. Thank you for that.
Yeah,
well, I was waiting for that.
Yeah, we were waiting for that moment.
I'm sorry. Okay, I guess me. Female, just happened to be female. I was looking for that emotional moment, and I was like, "Oh, I finally got it!" It was the end, and I was in tears. I was like, "Eddie, this is what I wanted."
So we've delayed talking a bit about one of the other relationships in this movie, the main one between Andrew and Domino. That. And Niki, you mentioned like a big part of this movie is all these people are at different stages of their life. Domino in her early 30s, she's still a bit of a partier, but now she wants stability.
Well, I think she's trying to reclaim her youth. It's because she had to grow up a lot because she was a teenage mom.
That's true.
And she had to like be all there for the kid, Lola.
Yeah.
And so since Lola's grown up now, it's like, oh, she's trying to figure out herself as well, at the same time trying to get stability.
Yeah.
And it's a little like, okay, this is realistic because this does happen.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And go for it.
Oh, I was gonna say, and like that relationship, and especially how it ends, it mirrors like what the mom tells Andrew like near the start. Like there's a scene near the start where Andrew just asks her directly, like, "Why are you with him? Like, does he make you happy?" Like, and she kind of doesn't have an answer, but she goes, he allows all of this to be possible. And I think Domino's in a similar position where she's like, he brings me stability, he brings me warmth, he brings me strength. Like he does like a similar thing. And it kind of also mirrors how the movie starts with Andrew as a kid being in love with this party starter, this chaperone, who also rejects him, and he ends up getting rejected at the end as well. But for now, with a better understanding, being able to compare it with his mom and with what happened to him as a kid. So I think those parallels are done on purpose, and you can clearly see them like working throughout. So that's why I was not surprised at the end when they didn't end up together. Because like it kind of makes sense. Like that's why they show the scene at the start when he's a kid. Like, oh, this is bound to happen to him again. Yeah.
In retrospect, though, and I can say this being a 28-year-old man who's married, who's been in a long-term relationship.
Choose your words carefully.
Oh no, don't worry. No, I've got this.
Like, where are you going with this?
No. Hear me out. I'm gonna speak to Andrew for a sec.
Okay.
I think it's one of the things I like about this movie is he has a young man's idea of love, where it's love. You feel it in your stomach. It's like love is more than just the butterflies you get. It's also how are you good for each other? Do you bring the best out of each other? do you have stability, or are you, fire and are you fire and gasoline?
Yeah.
What do you do beyond love? Because love is easy, but a relationship, it takes two people that want it,
Mhm.
and that are good for each other. And I think in this capacity, Andrew learned that lesson, that it's not as simple as, but I love you. Like, no, who are we to each other? You
Yeah.
know?
Because
And
they do have chemistry and they do like get along. And I think she more than she like appreciate the hell out of how he helped her daughter like come out of her shell. So I think those are things that are definitely valuable and definitely help him give him points if we want to see it like that. But it's not enough. It's not everything. It's not everything else that this other guy can do. And at first, also, he's kind of being portrayed as like, oh, the fiance is a villain. He's not a villain.
Mm-mm.
He's just the guy that is good for her.
he's trying
Simple
his
as that.
best.
He's
Yeah,
providing for them
yeah. Which
because it's
is not easy.
yeah, and
Yeah,
that's why he was coming back and forth. It's because he had to go to Chicago for work to
yeah,
provide for them.
It's not like he enjoys being away from home. He doesn't enjoy being away from Domino and Lola. It's just, it's work.
yeah,
You got to do what you got to do. That's part of being an adult. Andrew might
yeah,
look at him like he's a bastard, or he's gonna hurt her. It's like, no, dude. Like, that's
yeah.
that's what Greg is. That's being an adult and doing what you have to do to provide for your family.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Um,
and it's shown really beautifully near the end when Joseph pretty much catches him, and he goes and he's not mad. He's not gonna punch him. He just goes up to him and is like, "Are you okay? Like, do you need some help getting home?" Like he understands him to a certain point
Mhm.
because he knows Domino and he knows like what he probably like infers everything that's happening. Um, yeah,
Well, and there's even a part where and that might actually be one of my favorite parts, like character moments in this film, because it's very telling of Joseph's character, where I was expecting him to be like, "Don't you ever come near my family?" What, like, that's what you
yeah,
expect. He's like,
yeah,
"Are you okay?" Like, and Andrew says like, "I'm sorry, I'm stupid, I'm not," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's a young man's game." Like,
yeah,
he doesn't understand. And he even says, "Thank you for looking out for my family. Thank you for looking out
yeah,
for Lola at the party. Thank you for looking out for my wife." Like, he understands he's just a dumb kid. That's what Andrew is. He's a dumb kid he's in that in between. You're not really an adult, but you're not a kid.
yeah. And that line I think is very hardly touched. And look, I grew up like in my teenage years, I watched so many like teen and young adult films, and I read so many like young adult novels. Like to me, like I love that shit. I love that genre. And growing up, I was like, oh, I'm gonna have all these adventures when I'm a teenager and when I'm at college and everything. And then I graduated college and I went, okay, what the fuck happens now? What? There's not a lot of media that tells you like, okay, this is what 20-year-olds do. They don't. Like most of this is like this is what 16-year-olds do, and this is what 40-year-olds do. And somewhere in between, you turn from one to the other, and then at some point you're 40 and you're watching a World War II documentary, being like, why am I watching this? It's not like I'm gonna be in some Normandy trivia contest. Like, why do all of our parents watch World War II documentaries?
Watch
I have
World War
no
II documentaries. Those are good. Fuck you, Chema.
you have been an old man ever since I met you. I met you. You were wearing a blazer to a college course like that. I'm sorry, man. Like, I'm sorry I had to break this to you, but like, I showed up to classes in like basketball shorts and a Pokemon shirt, and there you were wearing a fucking blazer to a literature class. Like, I'm sorry. Like, this is you have been ahead. If it makes you feel better, you've been ahead of the game for like a bit. Okay.
Do I need to go back? Do I need to relive my
No.
youth?
No, you're there
No.
too.
You're good.
You're
good.
Careful, Chema. You're making me think about things.
Oh no.
I'm not shaming you for anything.
Don't
It's
make
just,
him
man.
think, Chema.
I'm sorry.
Can we talk
Just-
about the unsung hero of this film?
The daughter?
No, sure, we can talk about her, but I want to talk about the real hero of this movie.
Oh, Rodrigo.
Rodrigo. Oh man, that kid. I love that kid.
Oh, the friend.
Yeah, I'm a pop
Yeah.
Kevin someday. You'll see. boom. I'm like, yes.
No, but that's another thing too. Like his whole goal in life is not work. It's not like gotta do this, got not find love. It's I gotta punch this kid.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna punch Kevin's lights out. You'll see one day. And you just decked him as hard as you could.
This is, I think, this is exactly how kids are, and like it's the worst thing because let me inject some reality. After I graduated college, I worked at a middle school for like around a year, and like I work with like 10, 11-year-olds, and this is exactly how those kids were. Like this is the most realistic. This and like the movie Eighth Grade, I think it's like the most realistic portrayal of like kids at that age. It's like they're so chaotic. They're so chaotic and so scary, and they have these really, really strange goals. And what this kid, oh my god. Yeah,
Hey,
he was
fucking Kevin deserved that punch to the face.
Yeah, he did.
Kevin
Definitely.
deserved it.
Yeah, definitely. And like yeah, kids are bullies, and you know what? Bullies sometimes get what's coming, and you know, he did.
I
God
say
bless you,
deserved.
Rodrigo.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you're right though. Let's talk about Lola, Domino's daughter.
Oh, Lola was great. Her name is what's her name?
Vanessa
Burkhardt, I
Burgard.
think.
Mhm.
Burkhardt?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was great.
Is
This is her only movie that she's been. I don't know if she's autistic in real life. I don't know. I don't want to assume. But
Well, on what is it? The moviereview.com, it
Yeah.
says that she is an actress with autism.
okay,
So
she's great. She was
Outstanding.
great in this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Yeah, you feel for her. Like you see like that scene when Andrew comes into her room and she's talking about her hamster and about the potato mashers and about scratching her back. Like I felt so much endearment for this kid. Like she was so great, and never at any point I felt like she was in any danger with like Andrew in the room or like with her mom in the room. Like she felt like she could both hold her own, but also like she was a full-fledged character. She was great.
Her relationship with Andrew, maybe even more than his relationship with Domino, carries the movie. Him building this relationship with his kid and her feeling comfortable with him. She can come out. There's even a moment where she says, I sometimes enjoy a quiet room by myself more than I am with other people because it's so relaxing, or it's where I find my peace. And she even asked him, have you ever tried it? It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Like, and yeah, you can't help but endear. Like she's so endearing. You can't help but like her.
Well, she's ahead of the game too, because I think in your 20s, you're like, oh, I got to be with friends. I have to be with people because then I'm not doing anything, or I have to be involved. And then it's kind of like, well, do you actually need anybody?
Sometimes you just want to be home and relaxing.
Be home and relaxing, or be yourself. Like you have to get to know yourself before you get to know everybody else.
True.
You know?
So some of us in our 20s are still learning that lesson.
Are you speaking
talking-
from experience?
Yes, I am speaking of
Same.
experience. This is why I don't record solo episodes.
Do you get into a dark
Yeah.
place?
I absolutely do. That's why I can't. My therapist keeps telling me, Chema, you have to do things by yourself. And I'm like, but it's boring.
You could Twitch
It's
stream.
boring. No, that's boring. I'm
No,
not.
get a few fans going.
Okay, we'll try.
Chema.
We'll try that. We'll see. But yeah, she's great. I think I agree. I think her relationship with Andrew is like one of the main things that carries the movie, because him and Domino do have scenes together, and they are like very emotionally charged, not even like physically. Like there's that scene where he's kind of putting his hands under her, like in her butt, like what the fuck are these called? Like their shoulders, was it? On her arms? I don't remember. He puts his hands on her in a totally consensual way. And they just start talking about depression, and it somehow weirdly works. Like it's
her
very,
elbows.
like, her elbows. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
English is a stupid language. And then we have I was like, I'm this close to just being like, los pinches codos, way. Right under there. And like right there. And so he's putting his hands on her and in her elbows, and they're talking about depression, and they're talking about like growing up and stuff. And it's totally like emotionally charged. You feel like that chemistry flowing, and you feel like it's working. And I don't know, those scenes I think outweigh like, I don't know, the most dramatic scenes that I've seen in other stuff. Like this movie just felt like you were watching just a little bit of real life,
Mhm.
and like you believe this is a thing that could totally happen. Yeah.
I was just a side note. I was just curious, what happened to the dad? Because he was in the beginning of, and he drove them home and
Oh yeah.
whatever, and then all of a sudden, cutscene 10 years later, and it's with the stepdad.
Did
I
they
was
ever mention
wondering.
it?
I don't
I don't
think they
think they
did.
mention it.
Mm-mm.
No, I don't think they did. Maybe he died or he left them. I don't know. They don't really mention them.
Well, because Andrew was kind of going through his own turmoil because with things that he was going through with his mom with bipolar,
Yeah.
who was
Oh, yeah.
bipolar, had bipolar,
Mhm.
and then he was also had an alcohol addiction, right? His water bottle with vodka.
Oh yeah.
That's true. I wonder, is he addicted or is that just to take the edge off because he's
Well,
scared?
well, okay. I think it was supposed to be a whole thing where
Mhm.
he was like addicted to alcohol, but they
Mhm.
were like, "Nah, let's just glaze over. It's fine."
Yeah.
Because
Um.
the vodka with water bottles,
Yeah.
it was a
Oh
little
yeah.
much.
Yeah. And like the mom takes it very seriously. Like, and
Mhm.
all the moms from like every party are like, well, first of all, because you're handling a bunch of 14, 15-year-olds, but also the fact that the mom was like, can't keep drinking, like you can't drink on the job, like all that. They do touch on it. So no, then I believe there's something there. It's just maybe it's more for interpretation than anything.
Mhm.
Mhm. Um,
Um, yeah.
Also, props to them. This movie is very I don't mean to get weird when I say this. Uh Centric on like bar mitzvahs and bat mitzvahs and it's a bit of like
Oh
the Jewish
yeah.
culture and whatnot. I can't remember the last time I saw a film that ever did that. Like genuinely, I can't think of it. So props to
Like
them.
a movie with a mostly Jewish cast. I can think of like the last thing I remember seeing like that is like Uncut Gems is like the last thing that I can think that
Is Dakota
focused on
Johnson
that.
Jewish?
I have no idea. You know what? I have no idea. Never seen it touched in another movie, and I've seen a lot of her movies because, well, you don't have to know the why, but
Don't
I
worry
don't
about
know.
it. But
Yeah,
Well, she said in the movie that she was jealous of the Jewish tradition,
mhm.
that she
Mm.
didn't get to know it or
Mhm.
that kind of thing. So I was assuming she was a part of a different religion
Mhm.
and she was just had a lot of, well, I guess the school had a lot of friends that were Jewish.
Yeah. Oh,
Does
that's
that make
true. That's
sense?
true.
I
I
think
can hear that.
that's. Oh,
Um,
Johnson was raised Jewish and still practices Judaism as an adult. Yeah, she is. Okay.
There we
oh, okay.
go.
Huh,
All right,
there
we
you
got
go.
confirmation. Thank
Uh,
you, stupid
Wiki.
tabloids. Um,
Mhm.
thank you to the tabloids for that.
One thing also we haven't really touched on is Domino. She mentions she wants to recapture her youth or whatnot.
Mhm.
She, I don't want to persecute her, but at the same time, like let's call it what it is. She does go out a lot, and I think it's insinuated, or I don't know if they ever actually confirm it. She does step out on her fiance, or she wants to.
Well, for her getting so close to Andrew, it was a little like, hey, you have a fiance. You
Yeah,
know, like he wasn't
yeah,
abusive, he didn't do anything bad. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah,
and simply implied that Joseph kind of infers a lot of it, like just from the first night that they go out and Andrew watches Lola.
yeah. Like a lot of like not
Tension.
traditional values, but like a lot of like he's there, and which would make sense. Like they're at that age where they should be like that with their kids.
Mhm.
But also like yeah, I mean, they're something that Nikki brought up near the start. Like she clearly like grew up very young. She didn't get to have that age where she gets to make mistakes because sadly, when you're a mom, one mistake looks like 100 mistakes, and like it's not fair. But it's how society tends to view women and tends to view like especially young mothers. So I don't blame her for like the activity that she had. Like she wants to feel a little bit alive. Like, but she wants to be like she's something else besides a mom. So I understand it. It's definitely a good like piece to like have focused and be like, okay, this is a thing that is happening. We need to portray it in film. Like it's definitely a good conversation piece for the movie. So that needs to be like there.
Mhm.
And I'm glad that they addressed it, and I'm glad of how it ended because I think like we said before, not a thing that we see very often, not the ending that that we tend to see. So I'm glad how it was written and how it was exercised.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Only thing, you're right. Only thing was I did feel that, what is it? Dakota and Andrew kind of said bye twice. Well, I guess
Oh, yeah.
Andrew said bye when he went over to the house at night after the fight. And then she wanted to say bye, I'm assuming a month later, because he said that he had money to get an apartment and all that.
Yeah.
But the mom still had a black eye. So I was like, okay, what's the timeline? But okay.
Oh, those things take a minute to go away.
Well, still,
Oh.
I was like, wow, really slow. Because he was like, oh, I have enough money. I'm like, when'd you get paid?
But they delay it by like 2 weeks or something.
That's the
bullshit.
thing. I was like, no, there's no way. But anyways, she went to go talk to him and be like goodbye and
Oh yeah, in the car.
follow
Yeah.
yourself. And it was like, man, why'd you have to do that to him? Just leave him alone.
She broke his heart multiple times. Like, oh, here, we're gonna be spot together. Let me break it again.
Hey, just a reminder,
Emotional
this, yeah, just reminding you that not gonna happen again. Yeah.
What?
Some finality.
Sucks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just so you know, shoulder grace, nothing's happening.
God, yeah. Hey, quick question. Did anyone else find it super realistic when he went in for that interview and completely fucked it up?
Yeah.
I found it unrealistic that he got the job. I was like,
Okay.
oh, so nobody else applied?
Possibly. It's a non-profit.
It doesn't pay much, Niki.
He gets paid?
He gets
Not much.
paid, but not enough.
He could
I mean,
afford
apparently
at
enough.
least.
I mean, yeah, in New Jersey, like, who
Yeah,
wants to
like-
live in New Jersey? Like,
Fucking Daredevil, he doesn't even want to go in there. Isn't he
It's
out in New
true.
York? Isn't he in Hell's Kitchen?
he's in Hell's Kitchen, which is worse and yet somehow better than New Jersey. Oh
Hey,
my
who
god!
name one super? Look, New Jersey has the Jersey Shore. That's the end of the discussion.
Okay.
But no,
I don't know why I'm
the-
so vile. I don't know why I'm so vile to New Jersey. I've never been there. Like,
I know. I'm like,
it's-
Our-
none of us have been there.
all of our one listener from New York is going to be like, fuck this show.
not like the one from New York is gonna be like, fuck yeah, finally, some hate to New Jersey.
Hey,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
in the comments, let us know if who's better, New York or New Jersey.
I dare
Hopefully.
all two of the people that are going to comment on this.
Stop
Yeah.
insulting our one viewer by calling him multiple. There's
No. Maybe it has
No,
multiple personalities. You don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
Judgment.
I'm sure they'll let us know. No, but yeah, I think that specifically, like the timeline thing and the money thing, you can look. I like this guy. I like Cooper Rafe. I think he's doing coming of age movies like no one else. If you have an opportunity to watch this other movie, so I'm loving his dialogue. I'm loving his movies. You can tell this kid has never worked a job in his
Yes.
yeah, you can tell he's never worked a normal job in his life. I mean, good for him. He's very talented. He went to this program for writing, and he got a movie like immediately, and that led him to making more movies. And he signed a deal with Apple, and he's gonna have a show and everything. But yeah, he's probably never scooped ice cream in like his entire life. So
Well,
okay, it's
him even
fine.
working at the, what was it?
Meat stick.
Meat
The
stick.
meat
It
stick.
He's on the
was
phone
like,
the whole damn time.
I was like,
Yeah.
dude, you have to lose it over like, where'd you put the grease or where's the breading? And,
He was supposed to burn himself at least once.
you know?
Yeah, like something there. He's supposed to have like no time available. Like he's like, oh, he can do that and then also like go home and also like go to parties and also like work.
I was like, I'm tired.
Yeah, I was like, why does his skin look so silky smooth? Like that's not.
Why does he have so much energy?
He should have had like at least a little bit of like eye bags going on or something. Like, yeah.
Well, yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's a movie, so I guess it's fine. Yeah.
Whatever.
Whatever.
You're meant to
Yeah.
enjoy the movie.
I guess.
I enjoyed
Which
it.
I did.
I can say that.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
So yeah, anything else? Because I feel like we've covered mostly everything. I don't know if there's something else.
I know we touched base on it, but I just missed the relationship that Lola and Andrew would have had, like if they had continued. Not even Domino.
Okay.
It was Lola and Andrew.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
like they were getting to know each other, and I feel like they were friends.
Yeah.
And it didn't make sense that, well, I was kind of hoping, like, oh, can I still visit Lola? Or it was just like different
Mhm.
lives.
Yeah.
But it was about soulmates, right?
Yes.
So he was a soulmate in their lives that made an impression, but to move on, right?
Someone that you pass by on the way.
But
I
move
guess.
on from. Like
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
learn something, but move on from.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
If anything, if anything, Lola, if anything, Lola will probably remember him as like the person that helped her like come out of her shell, and hopefully that helps her like in the future. Yeah.
Mm.
Final
Mhm.
thoughts?
Final thoughts. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's in my top 10 of the year, probably top 5. I think it's funny and heartwarming and great. And I love Cooper Rave. I cannot wait what he does next. He's my best friend. He's my pal. He's my homeboy. He's my brother soldier. He's my sweet cheesy. He's my good time boy. So I give this movie a good like like a 4.5 out of 5. I think it's close to perfect for like what it's trying to do with its own genre, and the fact that it's like a one-man show. Like he's doing everything. He's pulling all the writing and directing and acting. Like what a talent, and what a young age to find this talent. So I love it. Can't wait to see more.
Mhm.
Cool.
I love that it was an unexpected movie of coming of age of any age,
Yeah.
from like 10 to 40. And so it was a little like you had to enjoy it the whole moment. And I love that everything that was written in this movie, you didn't expect. You just had to enjoy it and watch it. And it was actually very entertaining. So for me, it was 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
If
Oh.
anything, the deduction of points is the unrealism for the job and all that. But whatever. Just a little spite.
No one gets a great job that they love at the age of 22. Fuck you.
Okay.
You're either underserved,
Yeah.
underpaid, or you haven't graduated yet.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
was like, no, you haven't done your time, but whatever.
You haven't got your ass kicked
It's
yet.
okay. He's in New Jersey. So that's what.
Oh, damn.
Bringing it back. Bringing it back. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Final thoughts. Great coming of age story, like y'all said. Very different input. No, I liked it. Nice and complicated. I love it.
Mhm.
Hey,
Hey.
That's shit. We haven't agreed this much in a movie in a while, so
no.
that's great.
Let's talk about nobody.
Wait, nobody? Oh fuck, nobody. What boring,
No.
boring
No.
movie.
Don't go back on a movie. We're
Yeah.
talking about
No.
this one.
Yeah.
No.
Well, next week we're gonna be talking about Nightmare Fuel.
Oh yeah. Oh shit.
Pinocchio.
Oh, can I tell you something funny about that?
What?
So next week we're talking about Orphan First Kill, right?
Yeah.
So you know how last week I told you that I went to see the Spider-Man
Extended
the
cut?
extended version.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went with my sister, and the trailer for Orphan First Kill came out, and it started, and it's Julia Stiles, and she's doing the Julia Stiles thing, and I turned to my sister and I was like, "Did you know about this?" And she's like, "What?" And she was like, "You know what this movie is?" And she's like, "No." And then like Esther pops up, like you see her face, like with the hair and everything, and my sister just like nope, like she walked out of the she was like no, not because she's seen the original one, so she's like no, not another one. It's just it's the same girl. No, she left. She like went like 5 minutes and then walked back. She was like no.
Does this scare her?
My sister does not do like horror shit. Like the scariest thing she's done is like Stranger Things, and like that's it.
Oh, so yeah.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. We did marathon all the Scream movies, but those are funny. Those are comedies at the end.
They're just stupid.
Yeah, but like in a fun way. And like, but yeah, she like no, like just walked out,
Yeah.
and then she like walked back in, and she's like, "We came."
All right, folks.
All right.
So
Yeah, relatively short episode, around 40 minutes.
Very contained.
So yeah, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much for joining us, and for dealing with our constant changing the subject all the time. All right, thank you so much for watching. My name was Chema,
and this was the rollback.
and this was the rollback with a reminder to wear a condom or get a
Always use
vasectomy.
protection, kids. Always use protection.
And both. Always. Very important. So,
Bye, everybody.
bye, everybody.